Hey family, and welcome back to another episode of Financially Abundant. And thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode. I'm super excited. Um, Disclaimer before we get started. One, if you're watching this on YouTube, you will see Tyrone in the background walking around. He's currently walking around right now. I don't know why he's doing that. I gave him some doggy bacon so he could be calm. But if you hear him in the background, and if you're new here, Tyrone is my dog's name. Yes, his name is Tyrone Thurman Briggs. He has a first, middle, last. So, Tyrone is my dog. Second, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode. I really appreciate it. Whether today's your first episode or you've been listening since day one, out of all the podcast episodes, you listen to mine. So, I'm always just very appreciative, very humble, very grateful because I'm just thank y'all. Like, y'all really be listening to me. Like, so all jokes aside, I really, really appreciate it. And it just means a lot to me. Third, it is May. And as my pastor, John Hanna, back at home in Chicago, is saying, May is the month of miracles. I am believing in God for some supernatural things that only He can do. And if you've never listened to Pastor Hannah, or if you do listen to Pastor Hannah, make sure that you are listening to his May series, Miracle May, because these last two episodes have truly, truly blessed me. So thank you so much, Pastor Hannah. Every time I come home to Chicago, I make sure that I stay through Sunday so that I can go to church. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode, because today's episode is going to be long. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to talk about, a lot to go over, and we have a giveaway today. We have our first ever giveaway of the Financially Abundant Show. So let's talk about it. Number one, church announcement. So as you all know, we are currently in a $1,500 savings challenge. So I talked about it a couple weeks on the show, but God had laid it on my heart that He wanted me to save $1,500. And I'm like, God, how we gonna do that? And He was like, you're gonna do it in $15 increments. So I started on April 1st, and for 60 days, my goal, so from April 1st to June 1st, my goal is to save $1,500 in $15 increments 100 times over. So let me repeat that again. My goal is to save $1,500 in 60 days. How we're going to do that? We're going to do that in $15 increments 100 times over. The reason why I chose the number 15 is because $15 is lunch money, right? We don't think about $15. But we don't start off by saving $50, $100, $150, $200, or even automating our savings, right? It's all about changing our mindset, changing our perspective, which is going to lead into this month's series of moving our mountain. But we'll get into that in a bit. But it's about changing your mindset, right? Because $15 does add up. And as you all know, I had a goal of hitting $500 by April 1st. Y'all, let me tell y'all how good God is. As you guys know, I am still in the market looking for a new job. I'm currently still in the market of looking for a new job. I know the episode when so the last episode was Jamal's episode, and I was like, by the time this aired, I would have a job. Well, that week I had a final with a company in a role that I really, really wanted, and I just knew I had it in the bag. I think I talked about this on the show. I knew I had it in the bag. And at that time that was aired, I had not heard from them. And I've always been told, like my mom has always said to me, no news is good news, no news is good news, no news is good news, which it is. Like, no news is good news. You just never know what God is doing in the background or what's going on. So I just knew I had it because that week we had an interview, like the final, it was just, everything was good, right? Monday morning, they emailed me and told me that they went with someone else. And when I tell you I was gutted, but God is still good, and it wasn't meant for me, right? So anyway, I say all that to say I'm still in the job market. As of currently, this episode airs May 6th. As of May 6th, I'm still in the job market, right? So keep me in your prayers. And anybody who is in the job market right now looking for a new job, I am praying for you that you continue to have faith, continue to stay encouraged, because it is not hard. Actually, I hate when people ask me, how's the job search going? It actually really pisses me off. So if you know someone that is looking for a job, and if they didn't tell you that they got the job, do not ask them, how's the job search going? And also don't ask them, well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Trust me, like, we are exhausting all of our options. But just continue to pray for us, continue to lift us up, continue to stay encouraged, and continue just to be a blessing to that person, even if you just have words at that moment. But anyway, I say all that to say, God had laid it on my heart that he needed me to save $1,500 again. Because during this layoff, I've had to dip into my emergency fund, and I needed to rebuild my emergency fund. He was like, I'm going to challenge you to do it. I want you to do it in 60 days. And I'm like, God, how we going to do that? I don't got a job. He said, stop asking questions and just be obedient. I said, okay, cool. Anyway, my goal was to hit $500 by April 1st. Let me tell you how good God is. So 2 weeks into it, I think I had maybe saved like maybe $150 or something like that. Something, $200, something like whatever. I don't remember the exact number right now, but I've been posting about it on my socials. So my mom texted me, was like, girl, White Castle just sent you a check for $110. And I was like, why did White Castle send me a check? Come to find out, White Castle was in this lawsuit. My mom deposited a check in my account. I put it straight into my savings that have brought my savings from whatever that number was to $375. And I'm like, I need $125 more until I hit my savings goal of $500 by April 31st, well, May 1st, right? Y'all, last Friday, I logged into, well, it wasn't last Friday, it was the 30th. So whatever the day the 30th was, I think it was that Tuesday or that Wednesday or whatever. I logged into my bank account and I saw that I had like a little over $400 left in my bank account. And I'm like, okay, what wasn't paid? I'm like, okay, just double, triple checking, making sure everything paid, make sure I got email confirmations, and I had this leftover balance. I'm like, God, where is this from? Mind you, I only needed $125 left over to hit my goal. God bless me. I was able to transfer $225 to my savings account with my emergency fund, and I surpassed my goal of $500. I saved $600.78 in 30 days. Y'all, I saved $600.78 in 30 days just by putting $15 up at a time. And of course, that check from White Castle helped, and then just God being God. Like, when I tell y'all I'm so serious about my financial, like, this is my financially responsible era, I still been tithing on my unemployment, and I've just seen the goodness of God. So I hit my goal of $600. I surpassed my goal by May 1st, so I'm at $600.78 saved. Yeah, see? And my goal is to, again, save $1,500 by June 1st, and I am $900 short of that goal. Once I hit that goal, we are on game time, go mode, and I believe God that who's ever hearing this is our last month unemployed. Miracle May is Miracle May for a reason, and I speak life into your situation. We will not let the stress, what's going on in the economy, this man being in the office, none of that will stress us out. We will listen to the word of God. He made a way, he always make a way, and he will do the impossible. So this is our last month unemployed. So today is our first ever giveaway for the Financially Abundant Podcast. Like I said, May is about miracles. And I truly, truly believe that God is about to do a brand new thing, because April brought the tears. I done cried so much in April that I know that it's going to plant in May. And the irony of April showers bring May flowers is the day that I'm recording this episode, it's raining outside in Dallas. So I don't know what that say, but God is moving. Anyway, so I have partnered with Ariana. As you all know, Ariana is a friend and family of the show. She has rebranded her name from Divine Grace to divinexaligned. But Ariana and I have partnered, and we are going to gift 6 budgeting templates away this month. And these budgeting templates are the budget templates that I created at the top of the new year, that has changed the game for me, because not only is it a budgeting template, but it's also a net worth calculator. This isn't just a giveaway. It's a small way to support each other in taking real steps towards financial clarity and alignment. So we say we want to get our money right, and this is one of the ways to start. May is about miracles, momentum, so let's move in that energy together. Here's how you can enter the giveaway. Diamond and Deja, those are my sisters. Do not enter in this contest. This is not for y'all. So here's how to enter the giveaway. Number 1, I need you to like today's episode on YouTube, most importantly, and then Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So I need you to like this on YouTube and then either like it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Number 2, I need you to leave a comment on the YouTube video for this episode. In the comment that you leave, please be positive. In the comment that you leave, make sure that you are, 1, following me on my socials. I'll make sure I link those in the show notes. But 2, leave your Instagram handle in the comment because I'm going to send you a DM. And number 3, please have a Gmail because this template is more compatible with Google Sheets than Excel. It just doesn't translate over into Excel. Again, let me repeat myself. Like this video on YouTube. Most importantly, like this on YouTube and then on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Number 2, leave a comment in the YouTube video for this particular episode. And in the comment, make sure that you leave your Instagram handle. Number 3, make sure that you are following me and Ariana on both Instagram or TikTok or both. And don't unfollow us once the competition is over. And then I will reach out to the winners in 24 hours from today's episode. I will reach out to you via DM on Instagram. Like I said, make sure that you have a Google account to access the budget template because it works best in Google Sheets. So I'm super excited. We're giving away 6 budgeting templates that I created at the top of the new year, and I'm excited to give those away to the girls and the guys who really want to get their money together, and we have to do it together. We have to help each other. We're in this together because, like I said, May is about miracles and momentum. So let's do this together. So let's take care of ourselves and our money together. And then outside of the template, outside of the giveaway, y'all make sure that y'all get the template. It is 888, which means financial abundance. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's hop into today's episode of what self-sabotage looks like in your finances. Okay, so like I said, May is about miracles and momentum. And Ariana, that is my girl, down, love her down. When I had my seizure at the top of the year, and me and her were having a conversation, she purchased a book for me called The Mountain Is You, because me and her always talk about self-sabotage, and I talked about it was one of those things that just really, really, like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I felt like I was at my breaking point, and I felt like I was consistently self-sabotaging, whether that was in my faith, my finances, my fitness, or just in my relationships, and just different at work, like just different things. Like, I felt like I was either consciously or subconsciously just self-sabotage, and I couldn't just understand why. So she got the book for me. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Weiss. And for the month of May, I will be pulling some things that I've learned from this book and share them on the episode, because I truly believe that everything literally works together. And I'll explain. And when I tell you that this book checked the dog out of me, I had to sit down and had to have some tough conversations with myself. And it was tough. So for the next 4 weeks in our series, Climbing the Mountain, we're going to be climbing this mountain together, uncovering what's really stopping us, especially when it comes to our money. Because it's not just about budgeting or saving. It's about the mindset, the habits, and the emotional patterns we don't realize that we're always carrying. After reading this book back in April, I finished it in April, I had to ask myself, why is it that every time I make progress with my finances, I always find a way to mess it up? For me in particularly, it was swiping that credit card again. Even after paying it off. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've paid off a credit card and then re-rang it back up. The reason being is because being in credit card debt is familiar. Being debt-free is unfamiliar. I don't know a life without being in debt. I've never seen it firsthand. I cannot name one person I know right now that is debt free that looks like me. It's unfamiliar and it is scary. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it's like to live life without owing somebody. I don't know what it's like to feel like I can actually use my bi-weekly paycheck to invest in my future instead of paying off my past, or hell, even go on vacation and I don't have to save up all year to go on goddamn vacation. And I've never seen someone around me live a debt-free life. So what does that even look like? Would I still be relatable? Will I be judged? Will people think I'm better than the program? Like, all of these things are going through my head, because it's like, how dare you be debt-free? It's like we're literally programmed, and it's ingrained in us that we go owe somebody either a credit card, student loans. Like, I've even heard people say, like, you gonna always be in debt, you gonna always owe somebody. That's not a real thing. And so I don't know what it's like, and that's scary. And the truth is, as soon as our circumstances, what I learned in the book, right? Brianna stated that as soon as our circumstances extend beyond the level of happiness or success that we are accustomed to, we subconsciously try to pull ourselves back to what feels normal. That is what the author of this book calls our upper limit. So when I start making momentum, or when I pay off a credit card and I have that moment of happiness, like, oh my God, I finally did it, I hit my upper limit. But because it's still an unfamiliar feeling, I subconsciously sabotage, because I don't know what it's like to actually live in that feeling, be in that feeling, and experience that feeling. It is unfamiliar. So, and once I admitted that to myself, it changed everything. I realized that the reason I was self-sabotaging, it wasn't because I was lazy or undisciplined. It was because I had reached my baseline, so my upper limit, and I didn't believe that I was allowed to have more, experience more, or see more. But I had to tell myself, I love myself too much to keep shrinking. I love myself too much to stay in survival mode. And the greatest act of self-love is to stop accepting a life that doesn't feel good to me anymore. You cannot fix what you won't face. And if you don't recognize your own self-sabotage, you'll keep blaming the economy, the universe, or thinking you just need more money, when in reality, you don't. What you need is a new system, a new mindset, and a new story that supports your growth. So that was the first couple chapters of that book. And if you guys are interested in purchasing that book, again, I'll make sure I'll list it in the show notes. But I had to really sit with myself, because like I said, it is very scary to not be in debt. Then I do things to upend that progress. And like I said, I always wonder why. It's because I had reached my upper limit. I had reached my baseline. And once I had to admit to myself, I had to be 100% honest. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to be anxious about money. I don't want to have to budget for vacation. I just want to go. I don't want to have to owe people. I want to pay off my parents' mortgage and let them be debt-free as well, so they can experience a life without being in debt. They've been in debt since as early as I can remember. We all have. And it exists on the other side of that mountain. And don't let no one else tell you otherwise. So, based on that information, I was like, this is so good. How can I bring this, to the show, translate it over, and different things like that? And so it made me realize I had to sit back and think, how does self-sabotage show up in our finances? Because it's not always like a, girl, you self-sabotaging. Like, no, that's not reality. That's not how it happens, right? It shows up in different ways. So what are the 4 ways that self-sabotage shows up in your finances? And that's what I want to talk about today, so that you can start becoming mindful and being aware of how it's showing up in your finances. And once you are aware, because a lot of us, we don't know what we don't know. Like, I didn't know that I was reaching my upper limit and hitting my baseline, and that's why I was always subconsciously self-sabotaging, and I couldn't move over that hump because it's an unfamiliar feeling. It is scary because I don't know a life without owing somebody. That's some sick ass shit. Excuse my language. It is. Like, from the beginning, like, I just remember growing up as a child, all I would hear is, they'll get this money when I'm dead. I ain't paying them back over my dead body. Like, whatever it came to. And I'm like, I know it's more to life than this. I know that there are people that mortgages are paid off, houses are paid off, like, I know that it exists, and I am ready to climb on the other side of the mountain, no matter how many times I gotta restart, and no matter how long it's gonna take. I know that it exists. So how does self-sabotage show up in your finances? Number 1, waiting until you make more money. Babes, let me tell you, the more money you make, the more money you not gonna save, period. I don't care what they say. If you say, I'm gonna start saving money when I get my promotion. Oops, I'm gonna start saving money when I make 6 figures. Baby, if you're not to save on $1,000, you won't know how to save on $100,000. Y'all, when I tell y'all, being unemployed has actually taught me how to save and be good with my money, versus when I was making 6 figures. I was making 6 figures. I'll call a spade a spade. I'll be 100% honest with y'all. I was making 6 figures. I touched 6 figures at 25. Working in sales? Hell yeah, I did. And I didn't save a goddamn dollar. I didn't save a dime. I couldn't save a dime. I spent all my money on food, drinks, and because I can't even tell you what I spent my money on, right? Being unemployed has taught me how to save. It's taught me how to budget. Habits don't change with income. They scale. Like I said, if you can't manage $500, you won't be able to manage $5,000. Number 2, avoiding your bank account. Y'all ever had a weekend where you just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna check my bank account. I've had plenty of those weekends. I swear I have. I just like avoided it. I didn't even want to look at the bank account because I know I overdid my stuff. Like, I know I overdid it. Baby, Chase texted me and said my account was overdraft. I'm not checking my bank account. But y'all ever thought about who actually spent that money? Like, who is that? Because that was not me. Like, you had a whole different personality. You like, well, I had a good time. And baby, let me tell you something. I have no regrets. Like, all of those things that happened in my life has shaped me into who I am. Like, I still like to have a good time. That's why I have to put myself, I go out like once, maybe twice a month. And when I say I'll go out, I have me a ball, because the other 2 or 3 weekends, I'm in the house. I'm not doing shit. I'm in the house. So trust me, I've been there. But number 2, avoiding your bank account, ignoring balances, not opening emails, and letting anxiety run the show is not the way that we have to live, right? Avoidance creates shame loops and blocks you from financial awareness. Let me repeat that again because I stuttered. Avoidance creates shame loops and blocks you from financial awareness. I have had so much shame loops, whether that was, like I said, in my finances or even in like my health and weight loss journey, like where you just have a good week. Then come Friday, it all goes into shambles. Like Chipotle, pizza, you lit, so you're not trying to eat your meal prep, so you go get breakfast the next day and all this stuff, and it's just this continuous shame loop. And I vowed to myself that I would no longer have these shame loops because that kept me in a pattern in this hamster wheel, and it was just not healthy. Another way that self-sabotage shows up in your finances is emotional spending or impulse spending. Whew. Baby, I would spend anything to make myself feel better in the moment, no matter the cost. No matter the cost. Y'all know this. I've said it before. My emotional spending is literally my own worst enemy. I'm having a good day, we're going to spend some money. I'm having a bad day, we're tearing up the club. What are we talking about? I would do anything. Wait, let me rephrase that. I would spend anything to make myself feel better. And speaking of that, today is actually January, February, March, April, May, my 4th month being sober from vaping. I'm buying 3 vapes a week. I have an addictive personality. So when I like something, I'm very addicted, and like those vapes had a hold on me. That was money, like having a bad day, puffing on my way. Having a good day, I'm really puffing. You know what I'm saying? So emotional and impulse spending is how it shows up in our finances. You use spending as self-care or coping, but it actually creates regret. And then you're often tied to deeper patterns of just trying to soothe without addressing the root of the issue. The root of the issue, you're just trying to find things to just feel better in the moment. So my emotional spending and my impulse spending, I had to recognize that was one of the reasons why I kept finding myself constantly in credit card debt, because if whatever type of day that I'm having, whether that's good or bad, I'm going to do anything to feel better in the moment. And with maturity comes starving your flesh and feeding your spirit. And number 4 on how self-sabotage pops up in your finances is procrastinating. Just one more week. I don't know how many times I said, I'll start Sunday. Or just, I'll start next month. Lana Del Rey, one of my favorite artists of all time, has a song, Tomorrow Never Came. Tomorrow never came. If you keep putting off planning, budgeting, canceling that subscription, etc., time keeps passing and you're stuck in the same cycle because fear of changes feels safer than action. And that is one of the things that Brianna talks about in her book, is that stepping into this unknown, it's scary. But even though we know that the unknown or this unfamiliar feeling that we have is beneficial, it's so scary because we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what that success looks like for our individual self. It is so scary to step out on faith. But we've blinked and it's May. What have we done? Not to say this to shame, or anything like that, but yes, give yourself grace. Obviously, it's so much going on in the world right now. It's exhausting every day. But one of the things in this book that I've also learned is, too, we have to stop feeling guilty for going after these things as well. Rich people don't feel guilty that people aren't eating or people can't afford groceries. Look at what's going on in the world right now. Do you think they care that grocery prices are high? No. And so it's nothing wrong with wanting a better life for yourself, but we can't feel guilty or carry that guilt because we're scared of what other people gonna say, or they're gonna judge us or think they're better than. When the reality is, if they were in your shoes, you think they would care? They wouldn't. So she's all about just changing your mindset and open it up, because I'm just such an empath. I'm like, oh my God, I just want everyone to be successful and win. It just, oh my God, I want to just cure the world. Unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic society, an individualistic society, and you have to just go after what you want, because you're going to blink, you're going to be 40, you're going to be 50, and time is going to pass, and it's still going to be that this year is this my year, this my month, and it never happens. What are the steps that you can take today so that you are not self-sabotaging in your finances, to stop self-sabotaging in your finances? And again, there's no perfect scenario. It is never going to be a perfect scenario to get your finances together, to get your health together, or anything like that. The the best time to start was yesterday. The best time to start is today, because there will never be a perfect scenario. Number one, do a 10-minute money check. Set a timer, open your accounts, and just look. Don't judge yourself and don't give yourself shame. Y'all know we do not do shame over here. Baby, when I write my book one day and do a tell all, y'all all go laugh like, girl, I've done some stupid things, but I have had to learn to give myself grace. But when you know better, you have to do better. And it's not until situations where money is funny and you just start looking over things and just be like, oh my God, I promise God, I swear for God, like, if you give me one more chance, I ain't gonna mess it up. And when I say I mean that, I mean that. Like, I'm done fighting. I promise I'm gonna be the best steward ever, because I don't want to live like this anymore. And now that I know the root cause of the issue is that what I was scared to admit, that I want to be wealthy, I want to be a multimillionaire and actually believe what I'm saying and not just saying it. What I was scared to admit was that it's the unfamiliar feeling of actually being debt free, and I don't know a life without owing people. I've come to terms that life does exist. I can go after what I want, and I will no longer settle for a life I don't deserve. I'm going after it, period. Again, so rephrase. 4 steps you can take today. No perfect scenario. Number one, do a 10-minute money check-in every day. Set a timer. Start off with 10 minutes. Open your accounts. Just look. No judgment. This builds awareness because you need to know what's going on. So do that today. Set a timer for the rest of the week, right? 10 minutes. First day, list all of your debts from smallest to largest. Second day, see what you have in your accounts, right? List your savings, like what savings do you have? Third day, make a plan. Fourth day, buy the template on Friday. Because I think today, I get paid from unemployment on Friday. So I don't know if y'all get paid or not. Girl, get the template, it's $8. Or if you win the template, put a plan in action. Number 2, write down 3 money wins this week. No matter how big or small. 3 money wins. Start by building positive money energy. Even if it's as simple as, I didn't eat Flamin' Hots today. The reason why I said Flamin' Hots, yes, Red 40 die. Because if you know me, I eat a bag of Flamin' Hots and get a Pepsi every day. I haven't been doing it recently, but for April, I had challenged myself to not eat hot Cheetos for the month of April. 1, because they add up. 2, not only in price, but also in calories. And 2, it literally defeats the purpose of me not only working out that day, but me also trying to save money. That $5 add up. That $5 is $15, which is the $1,500. So start by building positive money energy. So even if it's as simple as, I didn't DoorDash today, right? That is huge. Do you know how many, DoorDash, Uber Eats makes so much money? If that's your money win, that's a hell of a money win. Because, baby, DoorDash is $40. Because why? I'm going to be honest. I was having a craving. I wanted some cookies. I needed a sweet drink. Insomnia talking about $60 for some cookies? Girl, got on right up out that app. And that was my win for the day. I did not order Insomnia cookies. Because that was crazy. And then also, too, by writing down your money wins, no matter how big or small, it begins to rewire your brain to focus on progress and not just problems. Number 3, pick one small habit to commit to this week. Number 3, pick one small habit to commit to this week. Examples: no spending on the weekdays, $15 to savings, and tracking your food budget, right? That starts by building trust with yourself through action, not perfection. So no spending on weekdays, that's huge. So that means you done brought your lunch to work. You said no to the happy hour. Girl, I'll see y'all on Friday. We do not have to do a happy hour on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You pick a day. No spending during the week. You made your groceries. You went grocery shopping. You go use all of the groceries up in your house because groceries are expensive. You transferred $15 to your savings account and you tracked your food budget. That is a win. Again, you are starting to build trust with yourself through action and not perfection. And then number 4, say this to yourself every day. It is safe for me to take control of my money now. I don't need a perfect moment to begin. Let's say it again. Take a deep breath. It is safe for me to take control of my money now. I don't need a perfect moment to begin. Affirm it, feel it, and reclaim your power. All right, family, as we begin concluding today's episode, y'all get that book. That book has quite literally changed my life, because it just shapes your mindset. It just have you start thinking about the smallest stuff. Like the days I don't feel like doing it, you don't feel like doing it, but that means you are making excuses for why you don't feel like doing it when you know that you should be doing it. So how many times are you going to make those excuses? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, let me get up out the bed and actually do what I said I was going to do. But so thank you, Ariana, for buying that book for me, because, girl, I needed it. And I just appreciate you so much, girl. So thank you. And as always, if you enjoyed today's episode, please, please, please make sure that you share it with a friend, with a family member, whoever. If you are interested in receiving a free budget template, remember, we are doing a giveaway, and I will I will email the winners, DM the winners in 24 hours. So make sure that you're following the show, and following me on my socials, and make sure that you follow Ariana as well. Like this week's YouTube video on YouTube, and then like it on Apple Podcasts. Leave a comment on the YouTube video with your IG handle, and I will DM you, and we are giving away 6 budget templates. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. And most importantly, happy Mother's Day to all of the badass moms out there. Happy Mother's Day to my number one lady, my mama. Y'all know I love my mama real bad. I love my mama real bad. I love my daddy real bad. God just blessed me with amazing parents. But Dad, your month is next week. Your month is next month. So right now we celebrating all of the sexy ladies. So happy Mother's Day to my badass mama. She's the definition of a baddie, okay? Happy Mother's Day to both my grandmothers. Both of my grandmothers are still alive, thank God. Happy Mother's Day to Chanel's mommy, Deja, my little sister. Happy Mother's Day to me. I'm a dog mom. They don't give us enough credit, okay? Happy Mother's Day to the dog mommies out there, my fur babies. Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law, my auntie Jackie, my god sister Plum. I'm trying to think. All of my aunties, everyone, I love y'all. Please, if I didn't mention you guys' name, please don't take it to heart. I just know so many people. But happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers that listen to the show. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Women truly rule the world. So, all right, family. If you enjoyed today's episode, like I said again, make sure that you share it, spread the word, y'all, because we are in this together, and no one should feel alone in this world. Tomorrow never came. Today starts. So again, it's not the destination that inspires others. It's the journey. So inspire yourself to become the best version of yourself, and most importantly, break generational curses. I love you all, and I'll see you all next week. Same time and place. Bye.
It keeps bringing me joy. Each new blessing I receive. It keeps bringing me joy. Blessings falling down on me. 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 Blessings falling down on me This is falling down me. blessings falling down on me.